There you are. You read a pirate read? We're about to look for some treasure. Arr. Remember, the key to good writing is to be a really, really, really good reader. The more you read, the more you spend time around words, the more you spend time around illustrations, the better you will get at creating them. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mine in this book for some important treasure. The book that I picked today is one of my favorites. It focuses strongly on one of the superhero habits. Remember, there's that powerful 10. And superhero habit number 3 is empathy. Empathy is understanding and sharing other people's feelings. Right now, we're living in a world where that's really important because a lot of people all at the same time around the whole world are going through some hard things. So it's very important that we share their feelings, that we tell them when we feel sorry for them and their circumstances, because we might get those same circumstances and we would want someone to feel sorry and tell us too. So the book I brought to share is one of my Rabbit-Tat-Tat's favorite books. Oh, he had on his mask earlier because he was out hopping around trying to get some carrots. Hi, Bun Bun. Yeah? Okay. So this is my rabbit, Robinson's rabbit. And this is a story about my rabbit. The rabbit listened. This book is written by Cori Doerrfeld. It's also illustrated by Cori Doerrfeld. Now we've looked at jackets before, and sometimes the jacket looks exactly like the book when it's hardcover underneath, and sometimes it doesn't. So do you think it's going to mirror it, or do you think it's going to look different? Drum roll, please. It is the same. When I read a book, though, and I have the jacket on it, it rustles and flaps. It makes it more difficult to move through the book seamlessly. So we're going to remove the jacket. As we read, the rabbit listened. Now remember, as we pirate read, we're looking for something that we can lift off these pages and put into our own writing today. Now my hat isn't really a rabbit hat, but I'm trying to simulate a rabbit. I didn't have a rabbit hat. It's not real rabbit. Just kind of looks like rabbit ears, rabbit head, rabbit face. This book is for CC, JR, SAF, and everyone rebuilding. There will be a lot of people rebuilding after this pandemic, so this book is for them too. The Rabbit Listened by Cori Doerrfeld. This is the title page. This was the cover. It has the title and the author and illustrator, and in this book, one person is doing both big jobs. One day, Taylor decided to build something. Something new. Something special. Something amazing. Taylor was so proud. But then, out of nowhere, that was very unexpected. Things came crashing down. Carefully at Taylor's face. And everything that happened. And now here's Taylor. The chicken was the first to notice. Cluck, cluck. What a shame. I'm so sorry this happened. Let's talk about it, cluck, cluck. But Taylor didn't feel like talking. So the chicken left. Next came the bear. Grrr! Grrr! How horrible! I bet you feel so angry! Let's shout about it! Grrr! Roar! Roar! But Taylor didn't feel like shouting. So the bear left. The elephant knew just what to do. Trumpeta, I can fix this. We just need to remember exactly the way things were. But Taylor didn't feel like remembering. So the elephant also left. One by one, they came. The hyena, hee, let's laugh about it. The ostrich, gulp, let's hide and pretend nothing happened. The kangaroo, tisk, tisk, what a mess. Let's throw it all away. And the snake, let's go knock down someone else's. But Taylor didn't feel like doing anything with anybody. So eventually they all left. And Taylor was alone. In the quiet, Taylor didn't notice the rabbit. But it moved closer and closer. Until Taylor could feel its warm body. Together, they sat in silence until Taylor said, "Please stay with me." The rabbit listened. The rabbit listened as Taylor talked. The rabbit listened as Taylor shouted. The rabbit listened as Taylor remembered and laughed. rabbit listened to Taylor's plans to hide, to throw everything away, to ruin things for someone else. Through it all, the rabbit never left. And when the time was right, the rabbit listened to Taylor's plan to build again. "I can't wait," Taylor said. "It's going to be amazing." Can you see why I love this book? First of all, I love that the rabbit listened. Second of all, what I love is how it kind of gave me a blueprint as a friend and as a daughter and as a sister and as a mama and as a teacher of how I too can help other people, my students, my siblings, my parents, my friends, my children, when they're having a hard time. Because this is how I would want to be helped too. So when you write today, I want you to think, what could I live from this story? And maybe you want to write about empathy. Maybe you want to write your own story. Maybe you want to write a fictional story about a time when a character, an animal, had a hard time, and other characters helped them get through it. Or maybe you want to write a real story, a personal narrative about a time when you were struggling and you needed some empathy, or a time when someone around you was struggling and you showed empathy. What I liked about this book that we also could lift is how simple the illustrations were. Look at all the white space around. There's a lot of white space. And Taylor's facial expressions tell us the story. Taylor only talks at the very end, right? But just by looking at all the pictures, we can tell exactly how Taylor's feeling. And in our own mind's eye, as a reader, the author and illustrator really conveyed how they wanted us to know Taylor. What's most important is we get to relate to this main character as if it's us. Even the name Taylor could be a boy, could be a girl. The way the illustrations are done could be a boy, could be a girl. So no matter who we are or how we see ourselves or know ourselves to be, we could be Taylor. And we all want a rabbit. And the rabbit could be our friend, our parent, our grandparent, another home support provider, someone who cares a lot about us, and we could be someone else's rabbit too. The other thing I like about this is how it demonstrates how simple text, not very much, can tell a really powerful story. Not very many words, but those words were really strong and powerful. So sometimes you don't need a whole lot of words. You just need to pick very carefully chosen and very important words. And I like how at the end, it uses what's called negative space. We saw the picture at the very beginning with all the blocks in the tower. See, they're all there. And at the end, the negative space shows the plan that Taylor has for recreating the great structure. Now, in this book, the author never uses a pronoun. There's never a he or a she. It's just Taylor. So as a writer, you could do the same thing, and you could make a book relatable to almost anybody, because the very best books are the ones that invite us in, and they want us to fall between their covers and actually feel like we've lived the story, as if it were our own story, our own personal lived experience, even though it just came off the page. So you might have picked something else to pirate off of it, and I've given you a couple of suggestions, but I really enjoyed sharing The Rabbit Listened, and I hope you always have a rabbit to listen to you, and you always get to be a rabbit that listens to other people. Till later, here's some pride, lots of stories, and some love. Super teacher.